Hello, everyone. Oh my, something happened here. Welcome to Let's Talk News. I'm your host, Leticia Romaro, and thank you for landing on the channel, whether it was intentional or by accident. We have lots to talk about, and I'm excited to have you here. I'm going to first just do myself a favor and change out my glasses. I was fussing with something and I didn't realize that it was showtime. So let's put on the computer glasses. Oh, much better. And let's say hello to everyone who is with us tonight. And everybody's joining up very quickly. Hello, Kevin Wall from the other side of the world, but the same side of the issues. Good to have you tonight. Francine, how are you, darling? Karen, how you doing? And Kevin Young, good to have you. So, how's the weather over in Michigan? I wonder. It was cold here in South Carolina today, really cold, actually. We were doing great. Had 85 yesterday, and all of a sudden today the temperatures dropped, and it is now. Oh, that's why. How's that? Better. It's not my eyes, at least. It is now 42 degrees, I think, here. So a little crazy. How are you? Our OG Lucille is with us tonight. We're going to talk a little bit about the Iran war. We're going to talk a little bit about Markwayne Mullin being sworn in today as DHS Secretary, and his press conference or his swearing in ceremony got hijacked by a discussion of the Iran war, which was interesting. Trump let out a little teaser about what happened with them. Hello, Susan Durema. Good to have you. Aloha, clear, warm with nice trade winds here in Hawaii. Very beautiful now. Thank the Lord. The rain has stopped over in Hawaii. A little snow yesterday, today better. But March comes in, right, like a tiger and goes out like a lamb. Is that what they say? Comes in like a lion, goes out like a lamb. But it doesn't seem to be going out like a lamb. We're at 24 today. So we've got another week of March. Hopefully we'll see some warmth. Hello, Andrew Dorman. Good to have you. Mickey Patrides, how the heck are you? And Mom, give her our love. And Angela Ricca, how are you today? So good to have you. So we'll talk a little bit about, well, I'll play the clip of Trump today in case anybody didn't see it. It was interesting. And then we'll talk about what you think he meant.
Are you going to send Jared Kushner and Steve Witkoff to do direct negotiations with the Iranians?
Yeah, well, we're in negotiations, as it turned out, and now you've seen what I said yesterday was exactly correct. We're in negotiations right now. They're doing it along with Marco, JD. We have a number of people doing it, and the other side, I can tell you, they'd like to make a deal.
What makes you trust them?
I don't trust anybody. I don't trust you. Why do you say, what makes you trust? Do you think I trust them? I don't trust them.
Then why bother talking to them?
Because they're going to make a deal. They're going to make a deal. They did something yesterday that was amazing, actually. They gave us a present, and the present arrived today. And it was a very big present worth a tremendous amount of money. And I'm not going to tell you what that present is, but it was a very significant prize. And they gave it to us, and they said they were going to give it. So that meant one thing to me: we're dealing with the right people.
Is that nuclear related?
No, it wasn't nuclear related. It was oil and gas related, and it was a very nice thing they did. But what it showed me is that we're dealing with the right people. The present, the gift they made to us was very significant, and they said they were going to do it, and it happened. And they're the only ones that could have done it. Jennifer?
Was it related to the Strait of Hormuz and the flow of...
Yeah, it was related to the flow and to the strait, yeah. It was.
Are you negotiating on who's going to control the strait from now on?
No, we'll have control of anything we want.
I love him. Yeah, we'll have control of anything we want. Well, it just so happens that Iran commented that they will allow any tankers from non-hostile ships to pass through the strait, and about 30 to 40 tankers have passed through the strait already. That means that Europe can get oil because, the United States doesn't get oil really through the Strait of Hormuz, but China does, and Europe does. And you heard that Trump had temporarily lifted sanctions on a tanker that was out at sea that couldn't sell its oil because of the sanctions that we had on it, and it was worth about 14 billion. He temporarily lifted that sanction, and so that oil could be sold. Now, I'm not privy to anything. I'm just guessing a little bit that I think that we got a cut of that when it was sold. There are some critics that say, oh, that's just putting money in Iran's pocket. Well, that's true. Listen, if Trump wanted to obliterate Iran, that could have happened. It could have happened. We have that capability, but that's not who we are. It's who Iran is. It might be who China is at some point. I don't think it's who Russia is, but it's certainly not who we are, right? But could it happen? Absolutely. Will it happen? No, never. Not, as long as we have rational, sane leaders at the helm like Trump. But we have the capability, right? That's the whole idea is, we have the capability. You have to negotiate. Whether you can trust them or not, you have to negotiate. But what he's done is he's gotten our troops from around the world there because that strait is important. The Strait of Hormuz is important, and the Strait of Taiwan is important because the Strait of Taiwan is where trade goes through. Hormuz is where the oil goes through. Greenland is where trade goes through as well. He wants to make sure that America is in a position to either control or regulate these channels because he never wants us to play hostage to any other country. And for that, I applaud him. And that was a really big gift, opening up the strait and letting the oil through. But it came on the heels of the threat that Trump had given them. If they did not open it up, then they were going to pay the price. And they, kicked their feet and, claimed that there was no negotiations going on, and they lied and they did everything that Iran does. But at the end of the day, what happened? They opened up the channel and they let oil go, tankers go through. And that was because of Trump's threat. And so now there's a conversation. Trump's smart enough to figure out if they're bullshitting or not. But in the meanwhile, he's got the military backup to make sure that they're not bullshitting. Talk here is about a land grab after the storms. Well, it always is, right? New York State did that in Staten Island, where I'm from, after Sandy. They took a lot of homes. They took a lot of property from people. The thing that, but now that you see that they can't maintain it, that's the problem is that they have these ideas of land grabs for whatever purpose, and then they can't maintain them because they don't have the tax structure. What, if those people leave that state, then what happens to that state? Either it becomes a beggar to the feds or it loses a good chunk of infrastructure. Same thing with California, right? The fires, people still aren't rebuilding. Why? Because the state wants to take the land. They want it abandoned. I love our president. He really is, and he doesn't give a shit. Thank God he's got a really thick skin, because most of the other ones would be crying like pussies because of how the news media treats them. I mean, 99% negative news coverage for Trump in both Trump 1 and Trump 2, and almost 100% positive news coverage for Joe Biden. If that doesn't show you how corrupt the media is, then nothing will. Love the quote, "We will control whatever we want." Well, and he means it. And that's why he means it. The truth of the matter is that, and I don't want to get stuck on Iran, but I think it's worth talking about. Hi, Maisie, how are you? The truth of the matter is that this exercise has shown us a couple of things. Number one, the Ukraine-Russian war showed us that Russia's army is not what it was cracked up to be, right? Russia's military, what it owns as far as missiles and things like that, not what it's cracked up to be. Because it's gone on for 3 years, and a little country like, is it 3 or 4 years? 4 years? A little country like Ukraine has been able to fend off the Russian bear. So think about that. They exposed what they had, and it wasn't much. And that was with Belarus helping them out. Iran, we got, 90 million people in Iran. And remember, weeks ago, we did that whole exercise when who was Iran in 1979. And we knew in the 1970s, when there was a gas crisis, Iran made all its money, and the Shah built this amazing military, which we easily defeated. They still have missiles that, travel far, but like their Navy and all that, their Navy, their submarines, yeah, they're all destroyed. Their Air Force gone. So not great. That stuff was antique. We've also learned that China, other than blustery talk, strongly worded letters, is not an ally that Iran can depend on. Even though Iran has bent over backwards and tied itself into a pretzel to help China. Yes, it's mutual help because they sold the oil to China, and China bought the oil. But Iran expected, I think, China and Russia to come in and help with some real stuff, with real muscle, and they didn't do it. So this exercise has shown, I'm not going to say just Donald Trump, because yes, he's the president now, but for our future leaders, where the chink in the armor is for Russia, for China, for Iran. And that's why he's pressing his advantage. That's why he's doing what he's doing. And yes, he's sacrificing his own reputation and maybe even the midterms here doing it. But it's for the future of our children and grandchildren. Because if he hadn't done what he did with Venezuela, with Cuba, if he hadn't set this chessboard up like this, we wouldn't know what we know now. I mean, talk is, there's stuff to talk about always, right? There's always intelligence, spying, espionage on both sides. But now we know. And what he also found out, and Europe also found out, is that Iran has had missiles that could blow Europe, Paris, out of the water, that could hit the UK, right? We've learned that. And that's why all of a sudden everybody's coming to be part of this whole situation. And also the last thing is that he took attendance. Who can America depend on as an ally? And he found out that the answer was no fucking body. We have been doing what is needed for the people of Iran, basically keep the power structure intact for the people. Yeah, well, he kept the power structure intact for the people, but also because it's a good geopolitical move. You don't want to, if you wanted to destroy the country, you destroy the country. You're not going to starve people to death slowly. You're going to just blow it up. But he's not going to do that because Iran is valuable. There's oil under there. and he wants his fingers on it. I saw a couple videos on YouTube stating Alberta is probably going to be the 51st state. I was really surprised. I don't know about that. I mean, the president of British Columbia was prime minister president, pretty adamant that he didn't want anything to do with Trump. But who knows? Who knows? I mean, listen, Canada's getting their ass handed to them. You know, yeah, it's not good. Hello, Gloria. How are you? Economically speaking, I'm sorry. Hello, Debbie Lebedo. Good to have you. Hello, Professor. Oh, thank you. I don't know what you're yupping to. I'm something that I was ranting about 10 minutes ago. Pritzker said the girl that got shot in Chicago is because of Trump's gun laws. Yeah, isn't that interesting? Isn't that interesting that he said that? You want to? Well, since you brought it up, I'm going to tell you. We can revisit this in a minute. Let me show you why it is.
Governor Pritzker is signing legislation to enhance protections for immigrants against federal action. The government put pen to paper at La Villita Community Church, that's in Little Village. Illinois lawmakers passed the measure more than a month ago. This bill prevents agents from arresting migrants for civil offenses in sensitive locations. So that refers to places like courthouses, hospitals, schools, and daycare centers. It also allows people to sue federal immigration agents for constitutional rights violations during civil immigration enforcement action. And it also expands existing whistleblower protections for employees who report any violations.
We know that this new set of laws can't mitigate all of the harm, but it gives us new protective tools and is a symbol of our shared action against those terrorizing our communities and our state.
The bill also requires public colleges, universities, hospitals, and child care facilities to set up policies for dealing with immigration enforcement.
That's why she got shot. That's why Sheridan Gorman is dead today. It's got nothing to do with Trump. It's got everything to do with that asshole sanctuary policies and going even further than sanctuary policies to give protections to illegal migrants who commit crimes in his state. And we know that the guy that shot Gorman, I can't remember his name right now, was arrested the week before in shoplifting and had a long rap sheet. But he's not the only one. We'll talk some more. Hold on a second. Oh wait, I missed a lot. Hold on a second. Okay. And Democrats are pissed and jealous of Trump's progress. You know, they're terrified of Trump's progress. Terrified. Make progress for the people quickly without needless consequences and costs. Well, that would be nice, Andrew, but I don't know that all that could happen that easily, but it would be nice. I trained some Ukrainian officers on operations and maintenance. I was shocked to see their Nazi tattoos when we went to dinner out of uniform. Yeah, well, listen, we know that Ukrainians and even Russians, I mean, they were on Hitler's side, right? So, hello, Joe. Good to have you. Thanks for joining. Hi, Kyle. Alberta and Western provinces are succeeding from the crown. They want free trade without government restrictions. Yeah, let's see if it happens. Let's see. Logistically speaking, modern warfare can only go so far with conventional fuel and warfare. Only nuclear-powered Navy and tactical nukes can a military decisively win on the battlefield. The enemy eventually runs out of energy. It's right, and Iran had that. He had its big ship that it loved and thought it was great because it could stay out to sea for 1,000,000 years, and we blew it up. We are doomed the way the Democrats set up their insane policies. Well, I hope we're not doomed, but, you know, if they're in power, we would be. Yeah, if they get back in power, we would be. So let's just take a look. These are the people that, not all, just the high profile ones. The people that were killed by illegal migrants that Joe Biden led into this country, or I'm going to say since 2021. Anna Bolovamiz and Nikolai Osokin, a young couple killed in a drunk driving crash in California by Oscar Eduardo Ortega Anguano, Mexican national illegal immigrant. In 2022, Kyla Hamilton, a young woman with autism, bound, assaulted, raped, and strangled in her Aberdeen, Maryland home. The attack was partially recorded on voicemail. Perpetrator, MS-13, gang member from El Salvador. Illegal? America Mafaldo Thayer, 55, brutally murdered and beheaded in Minnesota by her boyfriend, Alexis Sabort Vitres, Cuban national illegal immigrant. 23, Rachel Morin, 37, mother of 5, abducted while hiking on the Massachusetts and Pennsylvania Trail in Bel Air, Maryland. Oh, Maryland and PA Trail. She was raped. I was wondering how Massachusetts and Pennsylvania get together. She was raped, bludgeoned with rocks, strangled, and her body hidden. Perpetrator Victor Antonio Martinez Hernandez, Salvadoran national illegal immigrant and reported gang member who had been a got-away. Aiden James Clark, killed in a school bus crash in Springfield, Ohio, involving an illegal immigrant. Sergeant Michael Kunovich and Lizbeth Medina among the victims in high-profile cases linked to illegal immigrants that in 2023. 24. Laken Riley, 22, University of Georgia nursing student beaten to death with a rock while jogging near campus on February 22nd. Perpetrator Jose Ibarra, Venezuelan national illegal immigrant, previously paroled into the U.S. Jocelyn Nungary, Houston girl raped and strangled, body left in a creek. Perpetrators, 2 Venezuelan nationals, illegal immigrants, and she was 12. Ivory Smith, 7 years old, killed in a Texas crash by Joel Enrique Gonzalez Chachin, Venezuelan national, illegal immigrant. Alex A.J. Wise Jr., 10, killed in a Texas hit and run by Rogelio Ortiz Olivas, Mexican national, repeat illegal immigrant. Talia Crockett and Ryan Oncal.
Alex A.J. Wise Jr.
Alexa, off. Okay, she's spying on me. Talia Crockett and Rylan Oncali killed in a Louisiana drunk driving crash by Axel Flores Cordova, Honduran national illegal immigrant. That's 24. Let's go to 25. Victoria Eileen Harwell, 31, Minnesota mother of 5, killed in a car accident by an intoxicated Ecuadorian national. Haley Helgelson and Brady Heilig, killed in a Wisconsin head-on crash by a drunk Honduran national. Maria Plietz and her daughter, Dainara, 11, killed in a New Jersey crash by Raul Luna Perez, Mexican national. Luis Josquin Nanez Lopez, 15, shot and killed in Kentucky while defending his mother from an attempted rape by Gilardo Amandor Martinez, Mexican national. Brianna Kelson, 19, killed in Florida by Roberto Carlos Meza Rosales, Honduran national, illegal immigrant, in a red light crash while she drove to work. Santiago Lopez Morales, 48, shot during a motel crime spree in Texas by Venezuelan national illegal migrants. And 26, we only have 3 months under our belt, not even. We have 3. Fletcher Harris, 20, and 4. And Skyla Pravanza, 19, college couple killed in a North Carolina DUI crash by Juan Alvarado Aguilera, Mexican national illegal immigrant. Stephanie Minter, 41, stabbed at a Virginia bus stop by Abdul Jallah, Sierra Leone national, immigrant with 30 plus prior arrests. This is in Virginia now. Virginia. Sheridan Gorman, 18, Loyola University, Chicago, freshman, shot near campus by Jose Medina, Venezuelan national illegal immigrant who entered in 2023. That's just the high profile cases. There are many, 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 many more. And Pritzker and crew are going to try and blame Trump for not giving the states enough money for law enforcement. The states are blocking, they're signing bills, they're signing legislations to protect illegal migrants over the lives of their citizens. And you want us, the taxpayers, to give you money so you could what? Squander it? Pay for them? No, I'm not game. Are you? Let's see. Coconut Wireless here shows an illegal attacking a woman at the bus stop. That was yesterday. Really? Jesus. You don't hear any of this, just what Trump said about Mueller. Right. Because they're not going to talk about that. Hit her with a bottle. Is she okay? I wonder. When do we rise up and save our future? Well, I think that we need to, it's funny. On January 6th, a whole bunch of us went down to ask about the hinky election in 2020. And I'm not so sure that we shouldn't go back down to talk to Thune in the Senate. I had a conference call with my congressman, Russell Fry, and he has had it up to here with the Senate. He's right. He's done everything that he was elected to do. He passed the bill. And he says that, the Senate is playing footsie with the Democrats because they're all, swamp creatures. And I've said that forever. It should have never been Thune. It should have never been Thune. At this point, you know what? I think we should give both. I think we should make Fetterman the fucking majority leader. He'd be better than Thune. And I said it because Thune is just the trained monkey of McConnell. Yeah, no. You'd think even an American would be in jail for 30 arrests. Illegals should have been gone after the first one. Well, this is why. Well, you know what? You don't know this yet because I haven't played it for you, but I'll play it for you now. You got to hear what's going on in Virginia and what's her face, Cheryl, yeah, whatever, Sherry, what she's about to sign as a bill. Hold on. Nuclear power is the Energizer bunny of our military. It should be the Energizer bunny of our nation. We haven't opened up many nuclear power plants, and we really need to do that. All right, hold on. I want to show you this. This is Stephanie's mom and the former Attorney General of Virginia talking about the death of Stephanie. Watch.
41-year-old Virginia mother stabbed to death last month by an illegal immigrant is set to hold a press conference demanding accountability from the Democratic officials they say failed her. Stephanie Minter's suspected killer came into the country in 2012 and went on to rack up dozens of arrests from petty theft to violent crime. One of the things we found was this quote that came from the police department in Fairfax to the district attorney's office. This is what they said. Mr. Jallo is one of the repeat and violent offenders we discussed. I wanted to get your background on why he's out so soon. Unfortunately, based on numerous dealings with him, it's not a question of if, but rather when he will maliciously wound or worse again. So they warned the district attorney office that this guy was going to kill someone eventually.
Tragically, Stephanie's story, and it's heartbreaking to hear, it's not a coincidence. This has been a deliberate policy by government officials in Fairfax not to cooperate with federal immigration authorities. And Steve Toscano, the local prosecutor there, the district attorney, he's one of these left-wing social justice prosecutors who views himself as a welfare worker, not a prosecutor. Has a policy, and he lists this on his own website, that he will take into consideration your immigration status. And what we've seen is a consistent pattern of charges being dropped, no pros, by this prosecutor because he doesn't want them to get a felony. And Stephanie's story, while it's heartbreaking, is not an isolated one. You had just recently, in the last couple of years, You had a horrific rape that occurred on the Washington and Old Dominion Trail, a very, very popular walking trail in Reston, Virginia. The individual had dozens of prior encounters with law enforcement. He was still on the streets. You had another individual that had been charged with 8 prior felonies. The day he gets released, he's now arrested for murder in Northern Virginia. The first thing Governor Spanberger did was reverse Governor Youngkin's executive order that required state police to cooperate with federal authorities. And there's actually a bill on her desk right now, House Bill 1441, that by all indications she's about to sign that bill, though to actually ban localities. Right now, it's up to the individual sheriffs and the Commonwealth's attorneys how they want to handle it. It's their discretion. This bill would take away even discretion and banning. So,
Okay. Ban. They're going to ban you from working with the federal government. So what does that mean? That means that more American citizens get to be slaughtered by illegal migrants who have no business being in this country, because exactly what Trump said happened, especially in Venezuela. He said that Maduro opened his jails and sent them all here. And we're seeing that Trump was right again. Female recording is a friend of mine, and the attack happened right behind the Honolulu Police Department headquarters bus stop. This is crazy. It's absolutely crazy. Lanza says the same thing. He said it's worse than we think. It is worse than we think, and they're making it worse. Anyone on Staten Island know if police captured the Muslim in Pleasant Plains that attacked a homeowner taking out his garbage? The attack for no reason. Oh, I didn't hear about that. It was in the advance on Facebook. Interesting. My reply is not in just locally. I don't understand that comment, Santillian. You got to help me there. Well, it looks like the street justice will be enforced. Yeah. Unfortunately, that's their goal. It's so insane. So the goal is to allow these migrants to run free and crazy and get everybody frightened, because just like the pain at the airport for absolutely no reason except for to cause pain at the airport, the Democrats think somehow or another that scaring the hell out of Americans will get them elected. Because now this is their new statement, is that all of this is Trump's fault. And I think that the American people are smarter than that. But just in case they're not, I'm going to encourage you all, if you haven't subscribed to me on YouTube, please do. We're 178 away from that magic 1,000. Let's make sure that we share and like and comment and do all those things on not just me, but all conservative commentators that you watch on a regular or you see. If you see something that is spreading what you believe is true, what you agree with is the truth, then like it, comment on it. That makes a big difference in the algorithm and what others will see. It's important because the news, we're never going to take back the news. The news is gone. It is left. It is gone. And its whole sole goal is to make sure that they get Donald Trump and everybody that supports him to feel isolated, so that they don't vote for a Republican again. That's their goal. We can stop them with a click of the finger, like, reshare, write a comment. The more comments that we get on conservative messaging, the more people will see it. And that's just simple. That's something that everybody could do for no money. And you're on your phone anyway, right? You're looking at social media anyway. So if there's something there that you think should be shared, share it in the social media platform. That's so important. And if these blue cities don't comply, stop funding them. Well, he's trying to do that. Send me the YouTube link. I'll put it here. It's hold on a second. I'll do it right now. But it's just so that you know, it's all the same for Facebook, Rumble, and YouTube. It's at Let's Talk News Media. And that's what it is. But hang on, I'm going to put it here right now so that everybody has it. And you can just click the link and then you can subscribe, and that will be great. I should always have it at my fingertips, you would figure, right? But I don't. All right, here it comes. Hang on. Here it comes. Here it comes. Here it comes. Here it comes. Paste, and there you go. All right, there, it's coming up. I knew a guy that ran Southern Brotherhood Militia. He posted pictures of a high-ranking Chinese general training Chinese in New Mexico. The number of them through Mexico jumped 900%. Oh, absolutely. I mean, listen, there's cells all over the place. And Trump knows it, and so does the FBI, and so does the CIA. The difference is the Trump FBI and CIA wants to get rid of them. The Obama, Biden, and to some extent even I think the Bush CIA let them in. They let them in because they're getting paid. Royal Neville Singham, now they're really starting to peel the onion back and see what he is all about. This guy is bad fucking news, bad news, and he is hurting America badly, and they have plenty of time. They've been after us since after World War II. So everybody has patience. The only one who doesn't have patience is us. 3 weeks to freaking win think of the things that happened in this Iran conflict in 3 weeks. Okay, well, let's say 4 weeks, because before that, or maybe 8 weeks, because we captured Maduro before that. So we start with, we capture Maduro and then make a deal for all their oil. Oh, and by the way, and we also had this big row with Mexico, where they were, what's her name, Scheinbaum, was hanging out with the cartels, and then Trump, put the screws to her, and now all of a sudden Scheinbaum is on our side, and Trump captured and killed the head of the cartel there, right? The drug cartel. We got Maduro. Cuba's collapsing. We exposed that Russia's not really the bear. It's an old bear with no teeth and claws anymore. Iran, we destroyed their army and figured out that they didn't have a lot left, but we did find out that they could reach Europe. We exposed China for not coming to their to the aid of their allies. We exposed the UN for being pro-Islam, not pro-world. What else did we do? Oh, and we found out that our NATO buddies aren't our buddies. That was in just a couple of weeks. I think that, considering that, I think that considering the fact that the last guy didn't even know his own name at the end, Trump's doing okay. I hope Democrats see our post. That's the whole thing. If you like and comment on a post that you want Democrats to see and reshare, the algorithm will carry it. Schumer said on TV that the goal is to stop Trump in anything he's trying to do. Well, there you go. Didn't John Fetterman say TDS was leading the Democrat Party? Well, there it is. Thank you so much, Santillion. I appreciate it. Oh, good. I was going to share after the show. Yeah, I'm like Trump. I can walk and chew gum at the same time. There are VCP police stations in New York City. Yes, there are. Yes, there are. And we've known that for a while. CCP. I knew what you meant. I said the same. I text you a link about Singham. Yes, I saw the link about Singham. It's, how do you think his name became household? His name became household because God bless Nate Friedman, because he was the one who first brought it to social media. And then a bunch of us saw it back in the day, and I did a lot of investigating, and I found a lot of stuff that is not on the news. And so I started sharing it. Others started sharing it. And that's how, all of a sudden, he, instead of just Soros, now Congress and others are talking about Singham, because he's the real culprit here. Isn't Maduro second in command in charge? Yes, but it doesn't matter. They're dealing with us. Maduro did not deal with us. Maduro dealt with Russia. Russia was his king. Now, what's her name? Trump's her king. I can't remember her name. Abigail, I forget. I'll send you my YouTube page via Messenger. Great. No one is going to mess with us after this military event. The dogs are going to lay down. Watch. NATO is a waste. I hope you're right, but I don't know. China is pulling together. Listen, here's what keeps us ahead of the game is that we've got the chips. We're locked in with Taiwan on these really good microchips that are really, really powerful. China's chips are old. They can't do as much as our chips. The problem is that we don't have the infrastructure for the power. We don't have the power infrastructure that China has. So China could wind up dominating us, even old antiquated chips, but because they have the power to power them up, and we don't. Why don't we? Because assholes like Biden and others are like, oh, it's all energy of the planet. It's all bullshit to make us be weak so they could come in and take us over. Trump knows that. That's why the first thing he was saying is AI. We got to build got to build power plants. We've got to get the grid. And that's why the number one job for any young person in high school right now should be an electrician. An electrician. We need to start generating the power, and we should be going nuclear. The days of, you can't have nuclear power. Fuck that. 3 Mile Island, all that. No. We need nuclear. So that's the whole thing. It's a race now. Can China power up more old antiquated chips than we can of our faster chips? These are the important things that we should be talking about. These are the things that women should be talking about. Fuck abortion. Fuck breast cancer. Fuck this purple pink ribbon shit. Fuck Epstein files. Fuck all of this shit. We need to be talking logistics. We need to be getting, you want girls to be in men's jobs? Get your daughter to be an electrician. It's easy. It's not hard. You don't need muscles. You just need brains. That's why we need girls in MIT. That's what we should be. You want to do DEI stuff? No, we don't need DEI. We need to start training our daughters and sons to work with their hands. They got us all. Everybody wants to be an influencer. Nobody wants to work with their hands. We need electricians. They are going to be the money makers of the future. And Elon Musk knows it. I took a Facebook survey and mentioned censorship and shadow banning. That's I don't know what to say to that, because I think that when they know you're smart, they don't let your shit go. What is CCP? The Chinese Communist Party, CCP. Alger Hiss was a founder of the UN. He was convicted of being a secret Soviet operative. Search CIA Alger Hiss. The UN wants a world government. This is the goal of the communism, 100%. This is what the elites want, and they control the UN. We need out. We need out of all of it. I'll be happy when Christians decide to replace Fish Friday to Bacon Friday. That's funny, Gary. Gary, you are just Gary. I think God put you on earth just to be a royal pain in the ass to liberals. I truly do. Because you come up with some real one-liners or many-liners, but good stuff. Taiwan chip companies are coming here now. China has nothing to attack for. That's not true, because we have to still keep the Strait of Taiwan open. We have to be really smart. And now we're dealing with Malaysia. My God, he is so smart. He is so smart. He's got his hands in everything. He made deals with Malaysia. I think we're going to outrun China on this. I think we're going to be able to power up fast. I do. Some people are betting on China. I'm betting on us, only because he's there. If he wasn't there, we would not be able to power up. If another Democrat comes in, we are going to lose this situation. And Nostradamus his prediction of the yellow man ruling the earth is going to be true. China is keeping their powder dry because they have to right now. They are not ready. They're not ready with their chips, with their army, with their navy, none of it. But they will be soon, within a couple of years. And the uranium that's going, the nuclear stuff in Iran, that's, while that's all happening, the only thing that Trump can do is choke China's oil. That's the only thing that he could do to stop them from powering up those old ships. So I wish he had more time. I wish this was Trump 1 and we had another term. But whoever comes in next, I hope it's Marco Rubio. I hope to God it is. I fully agree with your thoughts on nuclear. We need to do it. We have no choice. We have a major computer memory shortage because all manufacturers are gearing towards data centers rather than individuals. Someone needs to start a business. There's a lack of a lot of stuff that we need in America. But the most important thing that there's a lack of is manpower. Hand power. I'm going to call it hand power. Working with our hands. We need to get all of these college debts off our kids' backs. Fuck the college. We need to go to trade schools. That's what we need right now. And I am shocked that we haven't had unions and others opening up trade schools all over America. That you want to start a business? That's the business. Trade schools. Moral issues don't belong in government. That is absolutely true. Chinese communist. Oh yeah, I'm really far behind. We should be talking geopolitics. We should, yes. We should all be talking geopolitics all the time because, the internet made us everything instantaneous and we were always one world, but before it took forever to get anywhere. Now you're there in seconds, minutes, hours. So we all have to speak geopolitics. We all have to, but that's not what happens. We don't teach that in school. We don't teach that to our kids. We don't want to talk politics. We want to talk, social issues. We got to stop. When other countries open up shop here, then China can't do shit. I don't know that I agree with that, but I don't know that I disagree with that. So make your argument. Tell me why. I mean, they can still do stuff. There's a big world out there, and there's the one thing China needs is the oil because there's so many people in China. So it needs more of everything. Remember, China has a lot of natural resources like us, but they need more of everything. And the other thing about China is they don't care if they kill their people off. They'll kill 1 million people just to, just so that they don't have to feed so many people. It's the Americans and their pesky fucking human rights that's in the way of everything. Trump is circling the wagons. Yeah, well, Trump found out that we don't have many wagons. It's not even just America. My IT guy said nobody is making it. Yeah, well, I think that our number one issue right now is to make sure that we have enough power for what's coming. Absolutely, U.S. and world. Thank God for President Trump being in control. Thank you and have a good night. Thank you. I know we're really late. Wow. Trump removed us from the UN and the WEF and many other groups. He knows what he's doing. We have been my tax bill came in. Oh my God. I don't know how this happened. But I have to pay an enormous amount of money this year. I don't mind because I know I'm paying it to him. But all that money that has been wasted through the years, making other countries strong while weakening our own is infuriating to me. Infuriating. All right, good night. I will see you all tomorrow. Thanks for hanging out. Remember, like, share, and just hype up if you're on YouTube, and make sure you do it for everybody who has a conservative voice. With everything going on with Trump president, I sleep like a baby. Me too. That's a good point, and it's a good way to end. All right, see you all tomorrow, 8:00.